Liberal candidate, has withdrawn from the election, and the Conservatives have barred one of theirs from running over controversial comments. Well, CTV's Colton Praill joins us live with more on all this. Colton.
Jamie, it's been a quiet day on the campaign trail policy-wise, but it has been all drama since about midnight last night. After days of being in the news cycle, questions as to whether or not Mark Carney was going to drop Paul Chiang. We heard yesterday for the first time from the Liberal leader saying that he had accepted the apology of Mr. Chiang, the Markham Unionville candidate for the Liberal Party. Now, if you remember, this is stemming back to a situation in January where at the time Chiang had told his constituents in a Chinese media availability that they could collect a 1 million Hong Kong dollar bounty on Joe Tay's head that had been collected or that had been added from the Chinese government if they delivered him to the Chinese consulate. Now, we saw a number of apologies from Mr. Chiang, first on social media generally, then a secondary apology to Mr. Tay directly, then another to Mark Carney. It seemed like the Liberal Party had made their decision yesterday morning when Mr. Carney spoke to the press saying he had accepted that apology despite facing a number of questions about it. You fast forward about 12 hours later, you find out that the RCMP are now probing the issue as a result of potential foreign interference and transnational repression being involved in the commentary from Mr. Chiang. And then a few hours after that, just around midnight last night, Mr. Chiang announces he would be standing aside to avoid any distractions, is how he framed it. Mr. Carney was asked about it today, why it took so long, especially in contrast with the Conservatives, who just fired one of their candidates in Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore based on comments he made on a podcast back in 2022 where he supported the public hanging of a number of people, including Justin Trudeau, who was Prime Minister at the time. Carney defended his decision, again called the comments reprehensible and deeply troubling, but mentioned that they would begin looking for a new candidate. At the same time, Mr. Poilievre asked about his party's decision when it came to firing their candidate. He didn't have a long answer. He was caught on his way back to the bus. He said, "We fired him." Our reporter, Mike Lecouture, asked why. He said, "Unacceptable," but that was as far as he would go when it came to details on the decision to fire that candidate in the Windsor riding. At this point, neither one of those candidates have been replaced, both the Liberals and the Conservatives in their new riding. Jamie?
The CTV's Colton Praill. Thanks for the update.